Good morning, Seekers. Today is Monday, March 30th, 2020, and we are entering our second week of distance learning. Now, I have a lot of information to give at the start of this video, so Seekers, if your parents are around, this would be a good one for them to tune into because I have a lot of information about this week's distance learning process. And if they're not around, that's okay. Just maybe later today, whenever they are free, if you don't mind, just ask them to watch the video so that they know the information that I have to give them as well. So this week starts the official district-sponsored distance learning, and that starts for students on Thursday, April 2nd. What this is going to look like is this is going to be a paper-based packet. Parents, this packet can get to you three ways. It's going to be uploaded to the district learning website and you can download it and print it from home. That's the first way. Or you can come by the school on April 2nd and thereafter, I would imagine, to pick up the packet, to pick up a physical paper packet. Or if you cannot get to the school, you can let me know that whenever we communicate in the next day or so, and we will arrange for a bus to drop off the paper packet at your home. So either way, we have a way to get these packets to you. Whenever I reach out to parents this week, I'll be finding out exactly which way you want to utilize, and we will go from there. So these paper packets are going to be the primary source of learning for the day. Last week and at the start of this week, I've been assigning lots of supplemental things, Moby Max assignments and Pearson App assignments. Once this packet goes out on Thursday, most of what I'm talking to you about is going to be based on those packets. I'm going to be doing some little instructions on the packet, the part of the packet you have to complete each day because you have assignments for each day. You have assignments for math on Monday, assignments for ELA on Monday, assignments for Tuesday, and so on and so forth. So each day with my videos, I'm going to be making sure that you have everything you need to know to tackle your packets. And then when we communicate throughout the day, I'll be there communicating with you to help you master what you have in your packet assignment. I'm still going to post extra fun stuff for us to do though. I'm still going to post our read alouds. I'll still do our creature of the day. I'll probably still do some extra fun science stuff and fun social studies stuff just to throw it in there. But what you're going to focus on is the packet. Everything else that I provide is just going to be extra support and extra fun enrichment for you guys. And maybe like some fun class competitions and challenges and things like that. And I'll still post our daily YouTube videos just like this to go over all my expectations for the day based off of the packet and the extra supplemental stuff that I'm gonna assign for you guys. We're gonna have some new programs rolling out online too. Of course, all the online stuff is just optional. The paper-based packet is the only mandated thing. So these online things are just for those who feel comfortable with it, who have the technology available, and who have the time to access it. So 3 programs to be looking forward to starting if you're joining us on the online side of it. I'm going to be activating student emails and sending out instructions for them and probably making an instructional video on how students should activate and access their student emails because that's how I'm going to be sending out a lot of communication to them moving forward. That's how I'm going to want them to communicate using their student emails. We're also going to be using the Microsoft Teams app, and that's going to be how we're going to try to video conference all together and have live video lessons where we can all kind of talk and communicate. And also through the Teams app, I can do things like assign Kahoot challenges, and through our Teams app all together where we can all conference, we can also all play Kahoot and share assignments and share files and do different things like that. So you may have heard some teachers are using something called Zoom. Microsoft Teams app is something we already have. It's already loaded into your class link. You're already built into our class. So if you hear people talking about Zoom, this is kind of like Zoom. It's called Microsoft Teams. So we're going to be starting that. And we may also try to play around with something called Microsoft Forms, but we're not going to worry about that just yet. That's on the back burner. So for now, the 2 programs I'd like to get up and running this week for sure. I'm going to get student emails up and running, and we're going to get up and running on our Microsoft Teams program. All right, also worth noting though that as of now, our return date is technically still April 15th. That has not changed as of yet. That might change. I cannot say one way or the other. No one knows one way or the other right now. But as a reminder, as of now, all of this distance learning, we're only planning up until through April 14th. Come April 15th, we should be back in the classroom as of this moment. But of course, if that changes, we will update you immediately. Now, as far as moving forward towards my contact times that the district is mandating teachers set up, every teacher is still expected to work a 7.5-hour workday. That's our contract. That's what we normally work through the normal school year. So that's what they're asking us to do, of course, during this distance learning because we're still working. So of those 7.5 hours, we have been told that 6 hours have to be designated as student contact times, times that we are available for students to reach out and communicate with us about instructional needs. We were mandated to assign 6 hours. However, as you all know, my day typically does not end at 2:30. So while I am officially telling you that my contact hours are from 8 until 11, and then from 11:30 until 2:30, please know that if you need me after 2:30, the same rules apply. You may call me, you may text me, you may reach out through email, through Blooms, through FaceTime, through whatever other video conference tool you can use. I'll easily say all the way up until 5 in the evening, no problem. If you need to stretch it to 6 on occasion, no problem. I know this is a very different situation we've all been put in, and some people are working and some people are not, and yes, officially my time for student contact and all of my correspondence through the school is going to say 2:30, but please know that you may reach out to me later than that if you need to. I want to meet your students' needs. I want to meet the needs of all of the kids, and sometimes those needs just can't be met as early as 2:30. So please know that I'm flexible. I'm here for you in whatever way I can be. All right. I think that is all of the super important stuff I have for you parents. So parents, if you are no longer interested in hearing the rest of this video and today's assignments, thank you so much for listening thus far. And also parents, I will be reaching out to every one of you individually within the next 24 to 48 hours. My goal is to speak to all of my parents one-on-one within the next 2 days. So be on the lookout for that. If you know you're not going to be available during certain times, or parents, if you know that there is a certain time that's really good for you, shoot me a message, let me know when you are or not available. Otherwise, I'll just try to reach out to you over the next day or so, so be on the lookout for my phone call. My area code is 225, so if you see a 225 number, that's probably me. All right, guys, moving on. Let's move on to our regular daily stuff. I have got a long list of kudos to go through from last week's efforts. I would like to give shout outs to this group of students because I don't think that they got shout outs already for completing their social studies assignment. If I happen to miss somebody, I'm sorry. I tried my best to keep up with it. So numbers 8, 17, 4, 20, and 2. I have gotten all of your social studies assignments in. I had a few more earlier in the week, but I'm pretty sure I already called all of those out. So great job getting me those social studies assignments. Oh, Yep, that was all for social studies. So great job. If you haven't watched your social studies video assignment from last week on Discovery Ed, on the Liberties Kids video on the Boston Tea Party, feel free to still go and get that complete if you'd like to. I'd like to give some shout outs for some science responses at the end of last week. I'd like to give a shout out to number 17 because he did a PQPA response. He had part of his question in every answer. That was excellent. Shout out to number 2, fantastic use of domain-specific vocabulary in your science reply. That was wonderfully done. And shout out to number 7, lots and lots of details to support the main ideas of your answers. I love that. Also want to give shout outs to number 13, number 8, number 6, and number 20. Your answers were all absolutely fabulous as well. No one missed the mark on any of those answers. You guys did a great job paying attention and following along, even though it was a weird video. Spoiler alert, I got another weird one for you today, just to look forward to. All right, for those of you who responded to my math question of the day, I had 4 students reply and I had 4 correct answers. Number 2, 8, 6, and 17. Great job solving that problem. If you haven't done that yet, you can go back and still do that. I'd love to hear from you. All right, students who have made excellent progress on their Moby Max math assignment. These people either completely finished it or got very close to finishing it, and I was very pleased with their progress last week, and this was a lot of you. Numbers 21, 6, 7, 17, 9, 2, 8, and 20. I had a couple of you on there a couple of times, so that's why I had to hesitate. So great job finishing up that Moby Max math assignment on the order of operations. I only had 3 people finish their Moby Max affixes assignment, and that was number 20, 17, and 2. So double big shout out to you 3 for powering through all of those assignments on that affix assignment for Moby Max. Great job. My top 3 Moby Max interventionists on the Moby Max reading stories for last week. Top 3, number 17, number 13, and number 8. Great job to you guys. My top overall interventionist for Lexia and Moby Max goes to number 19. Very good job, my dear. You had the highest overall intervention minutes last week with 128 minutes. Very good. And then also bringing up on the Lexia leaderboard is number 8, number 20, and number 2. Fantastic job for all of you guys who are participating, who are working hard. Could not be more proud of you. Keep it up. All right, let's get on to what we're talking about today. Your creature of the day. I've been kind of a big cat mode recently, you guys. So our creature of the day is one of the biggest, coolest, most mysterious and magical cats out there. It is the majestic snow leopard. So in the description, you will find a YouTube video link to watch more about the snow leopard. It was interesting for me to compare it to the video we watched the other day on the cheetah. They use their tails in very similar ways, but the snow leopard does have some different adaptations because it lives in a very different ecosystem. So I think you'll have fun watching that and comparing it to what we learned about the cheetah whenever we were still in our classroom oh so long ago. All right, so that is your creature of the day. Now the next link you have in the descriptions is a message from Miss Smith and her little fish, and it is probably the most adorable thing you're gonna see all day long. So click on that link, go see your message that Miss Smith left you, and if you wanna get a message to her, feel free to send me a message to pass along to her, but we'll get everybody connected here soon. Miss Fee and Miss Smith are also gonna be available for our distance learning, so don't worry, you'll be in touch with all 3 of us. All right, so creature of the day, Miss Smith message, moving on. Science today. You have in your description another video link to kind of that bizarre science video series I found with those 2 characters. And this one is on the lungs, also known as the respiratory system. So I want you guys to watch that. And then I want you to take an open book quiz. Now, how in the world are you going to take an open book quiz when you do not have your textbook with you? In the Pearson app, I've created a new assignment for today. In that assignment, let me see if I can pull it up here. In that assignment, you are going to have 2 things that you have access to. You're going to have access to the e-text that you already read through last week. If you followed along last week with your science assignments, you've already had access to that. That's whenever I had you read through it and find all of that important information. So let me pull this up here. All right, so if you look here, you will see this assignment come up. Oh goodness, I see only 2 of you read the text last week, so it might be that quite a few of you need to go back and reread it before you attempt this. So whenever you click on this, it's gonna take you to these, whoop, sorry. I've got to click something different. I've got to click preview. All right, it should take you to 2 different assignments. It's gonna take you back to the e-text, and it's gonna take you to the end of lesson quiz. Here's my advice to you. Open the e-text in one window, like so. It's loading. Then go back, and you'll see, before I go back, you'll see this is just your textbook. This is the online version of your textbook. I gotta get past those first intro pages here, but here you go. Here's the online version of your textbook, and you just click through with the next button to read all the text. But then go back to the main Pearson page, get back in, open a new window, go back to your science assignments, And next to it, in a separate window, open your quiz. And that way, you can have your quiz here, you can read your question, you can click back at the tab where your text is, and you can go back in the text and find the answer. And that way you're reviewing the material, you have the video to help you also, and you have the quiz format. And of course, guys, I'm not taking a grade on this when I say quiz, but this is just an easy way for me to see if you're getting the information or not. So have two windows open, take it as an open book quiz, and that way I can just check in and see how we're doing, because we've spent about a week now on the circulatory and respiratory systems. So I want to see how you guys are doing there. All right, so that's science. Math. On math, you guys are doing great with that orders of operation. I've been watching that progress. I've been watching the responses to the questions. I feel like you're really starting to master it. So I want you to tackle the 13.4 quick check. These are word problems. They're not terribly difficult though, and it's not a lot of advanced math. You just have to carefully read the word problems step by step. Once you finish your quick check, I just want you to do your Moby Max fact fluency for the day, and then you were good on math. I'm gonna review this quick check and see how everybody did, and then we will determine where we go next in math from there. All right, in ELA, only 3 people have finished last week's Moby Max Affixes assignment. I see everybody's still working on it, those of you who chose to participate, but only the 3 people, the 3 numbers who I called out earlier, have finished it. So to those 3 people who I know are probably listening today, because you guys have been rocking it with following along, I have attached in the video description a link to a Kahoot challenge. I want you to take that Kahoot challenge, and this is the first time I've ever assigned it like this, where you're taking it home by yourself, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna send me your scores. So we're gonna play around with that and see, because it should send it to me because I assigned it through that link. And that way I'll be able to check and see how you did on that. It's just for fun though. You know, I'm gonna announce the leaderboard like I normally do for things like that. But if you haven't done that Moby Max Affixes assignment from last week, keep trucking along on that, keep working on that. That's just a really good foundational skill for you guys to have as we're kind of transitioning to this distance learning, because this is something that you can use across all subjects. I want you to keep working on that. And then I have the usual rest of your ELA like you're used to. You're gonna do your intervention, 30 to 60 minutes. You're gonna read for 20 minutes, and then watch the episode of Superstar Read Aloud that I post a little bit later today. And then your daily challenge for today, I want you to relax. It's Monday. Let's not get stressed out early in the week. I want you to relax for about 10 minutes. Go outside, lay on your back, and watch the clouds. If you see anything really cool in those clouds, I want you to add it to your journal. Draw it out and sketch what you see in the clouds in your isolation journal that I hope you're keeping as we go through this absolutely wild once-in-a-lifetime experience. So, there is your assignments for the day. I think I've covered it just about all as quickly as I could. I am going to be in class for most of the day today just because all teachers have to report in because we're getting those packets ready, but I'll have my phone with me. I'll still be available. I'm just gonna be working on my own in my classroom for the most of the day, so you can still reach out to me and I'll be able to get back to you just as quickly as I would if I were at home. All right, guys, I hope you have a good one. I will make sure that I let everyone on campus know that Scott Seekers have been hard at work all week long, and you guys have been doing great. I hope you get outside some today. I hope you start your week off strong. I hope you eat some healthy foods, but more than anything, I hope you remember that you can do anything because you are made of stardust. Bye guys, see you later.